everybody. So today's Monday. That means it's time for family movie night. And this makes the start of my 5th year of doing Muppet May. Yay. And so obviously I have done all of the main Muppet films and even most of the main Sesame Street films. I have a playlist in the description. You might should check on that. You can see all of my Muppet reviews, but we're going to some maybe more obscure Muppet Jim Henson Studios releases this year, because that's kind of what we got left. So it's super fun. And today we're talking about one called Kermit's Swamp Years. And this is a bit of a prequel, you might say, of finding about Kermit in his early days in the swamp before he started his journey to Hollywood in the Muppet movie. And of course, I love the Muppet movie. That's one of my all-time favorites. And I think you could definitely feel a lot of pulling from that movie, particularly in this one. And this is definitely not the strongest movie in the Muppets lore. It's probably my least favorite. There with the Muppets Oz. Those are the two weakest of the series, but there's some fun to be had. I still don't think I would really recommend this film, but I think that it's always fun to be with Kermit. So it's not a total loss. But basically you have in this film, you have Kermit, he's remembering back his swamp years, and particularly with his friends, Croaker and Goggles. And in this case of this film, you really hardly only get to see frogs, Muppets. There's a little bit where you could see Arnie the alligator. There's a dog called Pilgrim that's sometimes a Muppet and sometimes a real dog, which is kind of weird. And then they go to a pet store where there's a bunch of different Muppet animals, particularly a snake. And basically in this movie, you have them first going to a pet store to try to rescue Goggles and Blotch. And Blotch is kind of a bully toad that is kind of out to get our main characters at the beginning, but of course he kind of comes around. But then you also have them ending up in a high school, and there's this whole subplot with the professor that has a grudge against frogs, and they're trying to convince him to not have the students dissect the frogs, which is just kind of a weird plot line. The music is also really uneven in this movie. I think the only really good song in here is probably Life as a Pet, which is a fun song that's sung by the hare that's at the pet store and all the pets at the pet store.
Great to live and love life as a pet. Life as a pet. Life as a pet. Life as a pet. Life as a pet.
Have a version at the end of the Rainbow Connection, which I really didn't care for. You also have Dr. Crossman and Mary, who are trying to capture frogs, I think for research of some kind. And they were very similar to in the Muppet movie, or to Doc Hopper and Max, who are kind of following the Muppets. The thing that's, I think, not as fun about this one is that you don't have the Muppets. You just have Kermit and these not so engaging friends. And the story just isn't that funny. The music isn't that good. And that's what creates sort of the problem. It's also kind of two stories. You've got half the pet store, half the high school, which both of them feel very derivative. And it's not even like Muppets in Space is kind of weird, but you still got Gonzo at the head of that and his journey to find his family. So there's still some heart. And this, it's just kind of not very interesting or funny, or like I said, the music's not very good. And so this one is just not worth, I think, your time. I think you'd way rather, if you're going to watch a obscure one, watch The Bunny Picnic or watch even the Frog Prince is better than this. You'd probably be better off just watching some episodes of The Muppet Show. I don't know. This one just is not all that great. But you know, I do love Kermit, so there's that. They also have a CGI fly at the beginning of this, which looks really bad. 2002 was a rough kind of time for CGI animation. There wasn't that much good stuff, certainly on a direct-to-DVD budget. So I don't understand why they didn't just use a Muppet kind of fly or something like that, or I don't know, just do something else because it looked terrible. So yeah, I don't know. This one isn't great, but, but let me know what you think. Is it one that you watched as a kid? I would be curious for your thoughts. And remember sure to check out all of my Muppet May reviews. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. We also have the Patreon group and merch store, so please take a look at that. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next week for Muppet May, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.